Today we're at Dauphin Island, Alabama, to visit the historic remains of Fort Gaines. Fort Gaines was one of the key sites in the Battle of Mobile Bay during the American Civil War, and where Rear Admiral David Farragut shouted his most famous order, "Damn the torpedoes! Full speed ahead!" So join us today for an exciting visit as we travel full speed ahead on this episode of History and Relics. The War of 1812 proved that America needed adequate defenses for its long coastline. Construction of a fort on Dauphin Island, as part of a comprehensive system of national defense, began in 1818. Several problems plagued the project, from engineering design flaws that allowed water to flow into the site at high tide to exceeding its monetary budget. Construction began in 1819. But by 1821 had stopped as Congress suspended funding after learning that nearly $220,000 had been spent, but less than half the work had been completed. It wasn't until the following year when President James Monroe, in a message to the Senate and House, urged the project's recommitment of funds. That argument would continue for at least 2 more decades, as additional funds were not appropriated until 1845. At that point, Chief Engineer Joseph G. Totten continued with fresh military plan designs. In 1853, Congress named the fortification in honor of Brevet Major General Edmund Pendleton Gaines, a 50-year decorated military veteran who served in the War of 1812, as well as the Seminole, Black Hawk, and Mexican-American Wars. Most of the work at the fort was completed by 1861, but the outbreak of the Civil War left the finishing touches to the Confederacy. Fort Gaines is best known for its role in the Battle of Mobile Bay during the Civil War. Mobile became the major Confederate port on the Gulf of Mexico after the fall of New Orleans, Louisiana in April 1862. With blockade runners carrying critical supplies from Havana, Cuba, into Mobile, Union General Ulysses S. Grant made the capture of the port a top priority after assuming command of all U.S. forces in early 1864. By August 5, 1864, Union Rear Admiral David Farragut led his fleet through the Confederate defenses at Mobile, Alabama, to seal one of the last major southern ports. Opposing Rear Admiral David Farragut's force of 18 warships was a Confederate squadron of only 4 ships. However, it included the ironclad CSS Tennessee, said to be the most powerful afloat. Farragut also had to contend with 2 powerful Confederate batteries inside Forts Morgan and Gaines. The USS Hartford, Admiral Farragut's flagship, was the first ship of the United States Navy, named for Hartford, the capital of Connecticut. Commissioned in 1859, the ship measured 225 feet long by 44 feet wide, and held 310 officers and enlisted soldiers. She had 20 9-inch guns, 2 20-pounder Parrott rifles, and 2 other 12-pounder guns. She was decommissioned in 1926 and survived until 1956, when she sank awaiting restoration in Norfolk, Virginia. However, a remnant of the USS Hartford can be seen here at Fort Gaines, her huge anchor. This too was the battleship upon which Farragut gave his world-famous command of "Damn the torpedoes! 4 bells! Captain Drayton, go ahead! Jewett, full speed!" This was later paraphrased and became known as "Damn the torpedoes! Full speed ahead!" As for the Battle of Mobile Bay, the Yankee fleet quickly knocked out the smaller Confederate ships, but the CSS Tennessee fought a valiant battle against overwhelming odds before it sustained heavy damage and surrendered. The fall of Mobile Bay to Union forces in August 1864 was a major blow to the Confederacy, and the victory was the first in a series of Yankee successes that helped secure the re-election of President Abraham Lincoln later that year. All right, now it's time to take a tour of this historic Civil War site. Now the video sort of speeds along, but feel free to pause anywhere along here to read any of the placards we stop at. All right, let's check this out. Okay, that's just about going to wrap things up for today. But before we go, we thought we'd take you across the bay with us on the ferry. From here, you'll see a different perspective of Fort Gaines, as well as other sites in the bay. Oh, and stay tuned because the ferry is taking us to Fort Morgan, and we have a video on that as well. So sit back and enjoy the ride, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope you've enjoyed our program. If you like our content, we ask that you like, share, and subscribe to our channel. It costs nothing but means a lot to us and keeps us growing. You may also leave us a tip if you choose. A link is provided here on your screen as well as in the description area below. And until next time, everyone, this one is history.